shows that the mashkiba for women is not meant to be drunk. It's just meant to be taken. That gives it the cloth. The mashkiba take. So, here I am. So you see that in Shvat, in most years, it's connected to Shvat. The holiday is Shvat is the completion and what you might call the perfection of the test trying. Because Pasha Boy, we see that he even went out, and he went out with all the famous number and quality that was involved in going out of Egypt. But at the beginning of the Pasha, we see that Vayugad, the Pari, was told Pari, and he really thought it over again, as Rosh Rashi paints it, the Mitzrayim. We're worried about all that woman that we mentioned in the Shokla the week before. They're worried about all the woman that the Eden was taking. So they decided to, were very easily persuaded that they should chase after the Eden. So we see that it wasn't a dying, it wasn't a complete Yitzhak in Mitzrayim. It was only after the unification that the whole influence, which you might call the whole power they had, the Nishanas of the Eden, completely was broken. Like the wheel is Vayedu in Mitzrayim, Ki Ali Hashem is one on the wheel. The word Vayedu means Shvira. Sometimes the word Das can have the implication of Shvira. That was the Shvira, Saklipa, the garment of Par, another Mitzrayim, and Kamur and all the Mitzrayim together with him. So after that it was a complete Mitzvah Mitzrayim. The Yidden was completely the whole Yidden Mitzrayim. Well, we see in the famous Al-Kittas and the Rebbe Gimel that even Mamish, the Rega before the Nes, Tzias Mitzrayim, there were all sorts of Yidden, and they were enough to form partners, groups. So they must have been crushing people, but they held that, we have to go back to Mitzrayim, oil upon him. We have to do something just as desperate as that. And even the Ina from Muhammad wasn't held, and even prayer, even that they should pray, Tachlis. We see even Moshe Rabbeinu himself, the Abishta told him, Ma Titzach Eloi, what are you praying? What are you doing here? Praying Barichas? I mean, normally you have to pray Barichas. I'm trying to cancel out the idea of Barichas Atfilah. But at that particular moment, Abe said, what are you doing down right now? Right now, you've got to take the Eden forward. There's got to be the bear of the Yisrael, there's got to be a different. They say, let's get moving, Mamish into the Yam. So we see that it was a whole groups of Choshev people that they held, not the emissary, and not even Bukhara to the emissary. And so that was Mamish a minute before the whole nest of Kriyas Yam Suf. We see that the influence of the Mitzvah and the influence of the Golas is tremendously heavy on people. It creeps into their mentality, despite the fact that they try to be good, to use the expression. They want to be good. And so therefore we see that immediately at the beginning of the parasha tells us that Bnei Yisrael, Yechim Yod Roma, that even before the Nes, the Kriyas Yam Suf, the Yidden had the opportunity that they held, and they were given the opportunity by the Abish to go out, the Yod Roma, with Rashi says, with Gevura and full Semens. They went out with a tremendous, advertised power, and the strength and bravery. They went out into the Midbar, and the whole world knew all about it, didn't it? Huh? The whole world knew all about it. But still it didn't leave this stuff alone. It's only meant to be taken very, very minimally. So remember, the Yidden went out with a Gevura before 7. Ayod Roma comes along. The Targum Mokas, and he makes Bereish delay. Literally, what it really means is a revealed head, Bereish Galei, with how do you call it, sort of a high head, as you might say. So it's going on that the Einikuf and the Baal Shem Tov, the Mechaber, the Sefer, the Degel Machaneh Ephraim, he's our mocker for this whole thing, and he brings down that he heard from one of the people who was a close Talmud of Baal Shem Tov, Chayo, and he brings down that he heard it from him, but then he saw that another great Talmud of Baal Shem Tov wrote it in his Sefer. That's the tell the Yankee Yosef Mipalnoah, who was a Kohen, he was one of the great Talmudim in the Baal Shem Tov. He wrote the Sefer tells Yankee Yosef. He brings down the word Reish is a Rosh Tevis, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. In other words, it's Shimon, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And then he said that was already known before the Baal Shem Tov. But then he said those who learned by the Baal Shem Tov, well, they came along and they were moisty for a new Rosh Tevis. He said that Reish is also Rabbi Yisrael ben Sora. In other words, that's referring to the Baal Shem Tov himself. In other words, how you go out with the Buddha from Semens, from the Sarkolas, over in Yonim, Kolas Mitzrayim, how do you get through a Yamsu? As if you go with the Torah of Rabbi Yisrael ben Sora, even from Galei. He brings that, what does Galei mean? Galei means the meaning of Gilui. And he's pashtas, and he brings that, he quotes the famous letter. He said that he heard himself from his grandfather, his father, like he writes in the famous letter, which is also brought down in the Sefer that tells Yankee Yosef, that the Baal Shem Tov, when he once had an Aliyus Neshama into the Heichel of Moshiach, Gan Eden, and he said to Moshiach himself, Ein Mosai, Oshima, when are you going to come? So he said, he passed the ball back to the Baal Shem Tov, and he said, Kishiyofutsu, my only Sercho, Futsu, when your Mayonis, your Torah, your Inan, where Mayol indicates I think it comes out from the previous and the Atzmius, when that will be spread out in the Chutz, so then I'll be Miyados, I'll be Mishkal. So then what the other Talmudim about Shem Tov, they said that from that we see that when is it going to be Kriyas Yamsuf, like we saw in the Shia, that by Yosef Hashem Shein is Yodev, Davis is going to do it again, as they stated in Yishayim. It's going to happen all over again. When is that going to happen? Bereish Galei, it's going to be these pastors and the Gilui of the Prince of Hashem, Rabbi Yisrael ben Sora. Came along the Hasidic Lubavitch. They were moisty for new Rosh Tevis. They said that Reish makes also Rabbi Yosef Schneerl. And there's also a Remez, even after Rabbi Rashab, I just don't quite remember exactly how it's in. That Shin and Beis, Shalom Dober, maybe somebody can help us out, except there's another reference also to the Rabbi Rashab, and Mailim Kodesh Shmuel, it's a Rabbi Malash. They find all sorts of amazing Ramozim in that word Reish. In other words, the Hasidic, including the Rebbe Melech Mashiach, they kind that from the Baal Shem Tov there was a series of different Reish, different inyonim. But Davki al Yodam will be the union of Kriyas Yamsuf, Farm Ashtiyah. It will be the Yosef Hashem Shein Ish Yodeh. That there will be the union Kemoisha Hoyev Yisrael Ba'alisim and Tzai. As brought out in the Pasuk in Yeshaya. So now we see that what is the way to move the whole situation. Can we see the two stages? There's the union from Yetzirah, from going out of Mitzrayim, and then we see this going through the Kriyas Yamsuf, and both of them had what's called a spoil. They had the union from what he took all the clay kesef, the clay zav in Mitzrayim, and then when they went through the Yamsuf, all Mitzrayim got behind all the beautiful chariots with all the gold and silver and the horses. So the union, and we see in this week's passage, the Yiddish got so involved in taking the visa that Moshe Rabbeinu had to forcefully move them on by Yasha Moshe Zoram Yem Suf. Rashi says that they were tremendously busy with the Bizas Hayam. The Yiddish was so busy. So The Yidden were so taken up with all the gold and silver they couldn't move further into Kabbalah Satira. So the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach and Masbid, the famous Sikha, about that Indian, that they were busy with all the rounding off all the netzutzis and the gold and silver, that they left, they took Reish Beis and netzutzis out of Mitzrayim. That's a heck of a lot if you think about it. That's almost the whole Reish Beis has. I mean, doesn't leave very much to be done, but we see it's taken thousands of years to do it. It's going to be the finish of the whole Zach. Of the whole opinion, that the Yidden were so busy with finishing off the last netzutzis of the Reish Beis, netzutzis, that they couldn't move further. They were so taken up with the Aveda of being Mavara, the business of Hayam. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu had to force them. We see that how do you get past the business Hayam and you get out into the Mitzrayim and the mountains, into the desert, and the mountain starts coming down and the stutz as they say in Yiddish, all sorts of amazing things start happening until you get into Eretz Torah. What is the Eitzah? What is the way? The way is Bereish Kalei. Beginning with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and if we look at that, we see that all those peoples, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Yisrael Bar Shimon, there's another Rabbi Sati Arizal, here Rabbi Yitzchak ben Shleimai, his father's name was Shleimai, so that's a Rabbi Sati Arizal. So we see that all the Shtalshos, the from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai through the Arizal into the Baal Shem Tov and through the Rebbeim are all hidden in that word Reish in the Targum. Reish Kalei. So we see that what is the Eitzah? The only one and only Eitzah is that you have to be dog in Teres HaSidus, in Pnimius HaTorah. You have to be dog in the Indian what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai revealed. And the Arizal carried it on from the other great Rishonim, as they were in Kabbalah, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Indian of Pnimis and Limud and Gilui, Pnimis HaTorah. And there was put down that the Rashbi said, it's important to Rebbe Mehemel, that's part of the Zohar Kodesh, that the Rashbi said that he heard from the Rabbeinu Shalom, the Eibishter, Davki b'chibu delach, hai chibu dilach, Yafkum min dalusa barachim, Davki with the Zohar Kodesh. That Yidden are going to be able to go out of the Kodesh barachim. As he stated in so we see that the whole thing begins with the Zohar Kodesh. It wasn't the Tzad HaShavah from all those people with all their Torah, that it's Pnimis HaTorah, it's not the Torah, Haniklis, and it's not what is how to call it, approachable, the Rega Halishin by from Colorado. So I think that you have to come to the Rubi Tzumas Lev with a tremendous amount of putting your heart to it, with a Rubi amount of effort and a Rubi amount of giving up all sorts of good Sachen and all sorts of Hanofis, and they call it like we see in the Bossi Lagani, the Rabbi brings the one thing you got to be tremendously careful of, the Hanofis side, the way people understand things, the way the world just understands the way you should do things. They got to be prepared to give all that up, and then you get involved in Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Yitzchak ben Shleimai and this Rabbi Yosef. Until the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. He's the Hemshech. The Rebbe Yosef ben Shnir, the Kiyadua, from the first of the Ta'im Tzarech Leimah. You got to get involved in the Yiddish of Pnimius Einyan. So we see clearly that he's there. And so all the people who have any shaykhs, there's a percent that have learned that sefer, that they're going to make an Ephraim. And it's written clear that that's what he said, that he heard from the Talmidim. He say that that is the way out of the consequences. And who, Milon of whom he said, Mimeno, the Rabbeinu Chaim Vital. He wrote this famous, Hakdomen to the Sefer Eitz Chaim. Well, he wrote it in a sefer called the Shar Hakdomen. He wrote also different introductions to the Yiddish of Limud Kabbalah and the Kuntres Eitz Chaim from the Rebbe Rashab brings it down at the end. It's quoted at the end of the Kuntres Eitz Chaim that the Rabbeinu Chaim Vital says that only with the Yiddish of Limud Pnimis HaTorah are we going to get out of the God. The state dot claw. And he had a lot of criticism And who knows what? It's given Mitzadim when he wrote that famous contrast. That's what he wrote, the Rabbeinu Chaim Vital, Milan Gordon, Mimeno. If we see that the one and only way, and the ain and einzige is that even though you might have got out of Mitzrayim, you might have got out of your normal Mitzrayim and Gulim, you might have gone, as they call it in English, a long way, you might have made big progress. If you're still shy to the medium from Mitzrayim and Gulim, and you're still shy a bit to the medium from Hanover Sarelon, what the world says, then you're still in Mitzrayim, honey. And the only way to get out is to go through the Yam. You got to spot. As they call it, spalten the Yam. You have to break it into split the Indian and the Yam. The Yam is a very high madriga, as we put down in the Shir Torah. It's a very high madriga, but it's a hidden thing, and that's what the Rambam says right at the end. He brings the famous posse, Kamayim le'Yam mechasi. That the Indian from the Yam covers over. It hides a tremendous pneumius in it, but it covers it over. You don't see it. From our helicopter to see, all you see is this lot of blue water. You don't see all the unbelievable sea life that there is. I just heard from somebody the other night, they told me there's some unbelievable life form, something or other, at the bottom of the sea, that that's the most unbelievable thing. It gives off light. It illuminates for hundreds of miles or something. Some brio at the bottom of the sea. You know? So we see that, like the Gemara says, it was at the times, everything you got on the dry land, you got in the sea. Mamish Kipshuta. So you want massive neon lights, you got them at the bottom. Whatever you name it, the sea's got it. Absolutely. If I'm the Yam's got everything, but you don't see it. That's eating from Kniyas Hayam. You've got to get into the Pneumius. You've got to break what you don't see and get into it. That's the touch of this job. And remember, how we're going to get out of the cause, we've got to get into the Pneumius. We've got to learn Chassidus and Kochens of Chassidus and be made for Tzinin. And only that way is there any hope. So we're going to not just get out of the trial, but we're going to get through the whole Indian of the Yam. Get through the whole Indian of the Kriyas Yams. So to Shala, how do you do that? There's only one Ein and Eitz Kiveg in that kufa. And that is that Ein Chassidus B'loi Rebbe. I say it's a big club by the Chassidim in all generations. If you can't have Chassidus without a Rebbe, there has to be a Rebbe what he's Mekabel the Chassidim. So we might say, well, the Chassidus is written in all the Sfarim. The Chassidus is written in all the Sfarim. Where did the Rebbeim get the Chassidus from? They got it from the Sfarim, they got it from the Zohar Kodesh, they got it from the Arizal, they got it from the Tikkunei Zohar, from all over. And you want to get interested in Pnimis HaTorah, learn the Zohar Kodesh, learn the Kisvei Arizal, learn all such a good stuff. So you'll know the Pnimis HaTorah. So once again, Chassidim, particularly in Lubavitch, and I say it's all very fine, but unless you have a Rebbe, you won't get out of the college by learning all that. You might just get a little bit confused. In vertical. Come on. And what does a Rebbe really do? What does he, apart from the fact that he teaches you a lot of Torah, what is good, what is so important? Because the Rebbe is a man that he knows what is the kavanah. He knows what is the purpose behind every union. He knows if you take any passage in the Zohar Kodesh, he knows what that is supposed to bring to Papoya. And what is the limud miseh in a way that we will come to the Tachlis. And the Tachlis is Yemoshe Mashiach and Tchiyosah. Amazing. It says in Perek Lamed, look it up and you see it. And in Perek Lamed Zayin, the Alter Rebbe chazzes it over, he repeats it all over. The Tachlis breathes V'Savas Kol Ha'Elamas, U'Lo Yemoshe Mashiach and Tchiyosah amazing. And remember, that's the whole Shaila. How do you translate Rabbi Shimon Yochai, Mid Rabbi Yitzchak Ben Shleiman, the Avol Inyanim? How do you translate that into getting into Moshiach and bringing the world mamish close to Moshiach? So it's much that you can't just sit and learn this from him. You have to have a guide and a moira derech, and it's how even that he knows exactly this way that's going to bring to the ultimate tachlis, the Ahovi, the Yemais Mashiach. That's what you need a Rebbe for. The farm, the whole inyan from Yates and beyond the Roma, you only when it's dark, the latter, Rashi HaTevis, they become. And the Yom says that the Arizal was a Rebbe. He was a Rebbe, Kipshutei, Metali, and it says, Rebbe Shinvai Choyech. The people asked him in the whole Yachas between what was different with Rebbe Shinvai Choy and all the other Talmudim in the Gemara, they were Talmudim with their Ravs and their Rabbonim, not the Zochlan. If you look carefully in the Zohar Kodesh, you see that these people, they were called the Idra, they were called the special inner group, that they were the Talmudim of Rebbe Shinvai Choy. They were the Talmudim Mufakim, and Yosef is there, Rebbe Shinvai Choy Davke. And they were the Koyach of Kabbalah and even Satera, how it was B'yom Ma'ayin. And so that was the Yachas of Achosit Tzarem. And then it was brought down in the Yidru Zuta that Rebbe Abba, that he was one of the inner circle around Rashbi, he was the whole time writing down. He had a pin cast, and the whole time, every time Rebbe Shimon said something, he was there, and he was writing it down. Exactly, picked the same as the symbol about. Wherever the Rebbe went, wherever he said, it was written down. Everything has to be, it was Ushraim, everything the Rebbe said. Whenever all of my Marim and all the, what our Rebbe said, it's all down on paper. But it's all telling you, it's thousands and thousands of pages. And if the city weren't Lamata, they wrote thousands and thousands of pages. Well, those don't. The Rebbe said thousands and thousands of pages. It has to be written. So I said, make a Rosh Hashanah, make a few chapter headings. Wasn't the Tom telling you, that was the Ika, it was there every word. Because sometimes, in order to get it out, like the Mitzvah Rebbe said, you've got to say thousands and thousands and thousands of pages in order to get one drop. Go in the right way meant to go. It was up to Mr. Rebbe. Somebody asked him once, why did he say so long Drushim? Just say something short, everybody would be happy, everybody remember it. So the Mitzvah Rebbe reminded him of the famous Moshe with the Alter Rebbe, and Rebbe Pinchas Kodesh. The Alter Rebbe, he said that, you look, it's a chashash, you guys are spreading the things that Torah knows where it's going to fall. He found a piece of paper inside the toilet. What's going to come tomorrow? He went up in the sky. He was a quid, he was a captain. He was about to throw a potato on the whole place with the comedy of Magid and the whole thing. So the Alter Rebbe said to him, no. He said the Moshe was a king's son, but the king's son got so sick that he couldn't even drink the medicine anymore. So one Chacham came along and he said, you have to take the stone off the top of the king's crown, and you got to crunch it and give him the drink. Even just a little drop will go in, that'll also save him. So the Rebbe said that you see that the Alter Rebbe's Moshe told us, the Alter Rebbe Moshe has it, that he's so sick, the son is so sick, that you have to have, feel one drop will go in. So he said, if you have one drop just on itself, then that one drop might just fall out of plate. Remember, today, the whole, maybe one drop will go in. You have to pour pints of it. The rest of a tiny drop, maybe one drop will go in. Yeah, that's what the Mitzvah Rebbe answered to the Shoyel. What he asked him, what are you doing? Saying the Zochalang, the Trushim, the Zochalang, long minyanim, Adayin Shofarei. Just say something brief. That was the middle of his answer. They've got to get one drop, should go in, and it should be Mishachet with a Nasa Dam Mufasa Kib Soleh. It should come not only just in, but if you become Mamish, to say his Guf Kib. Remember, that's the union, but the necessity to write down everything has to be written, because everything has a ashpah, even if it didn't go in. The very fact that it was a part of the whole story that eventually pushed in one drop is all was necessary. Well, I suppose in the middle of very serious thing there has to be some sort of clown show. that's the stomach, that's the training. That's the Nakuda of B'nai Yisrael, Yeshem, B'yod Roma, B'reish Kala. You remember that's the matzah that we're in nowadays. The matzah we're in nowadays is that we need to know what is the tachlis and what is the right way. Because if you don't know, you can get caught up with hundreds of inyonim, but they look to be important, but they just dragging the whole Yidden back into the Golos. One in peak to see with those people that were standing by the Yam Suf, and they had all sorts of goyim ideas. They said, let's pray, or let's do this, let's make water. That didn't work. Some of them said, let's go back to Mitzrayim. That's obviously, that's more clear that that's not the way. But you've got plenty of them around also. There are many of them. And in order to know what is the Emerson way, what is the Emerson, to bring to the Tachlis, well, that's the Alter Rebbe says twice, in two program, one after the other, that's the Tachlis of the whole creation. That's why the whole creation was made, Malachatchila, that we should come to that Indian, that is amazing, when you Mashiach. That's the whole time. You need a Emerson, how do you call it, Reish, what he should tell you, via say you got to do that. What is the way to come to that time? And then you have to be believed, lintais yaminu shmo. You have to go rak lefi Indian said. And then there's bilti sofik. They take it from yad. That's the Indian. What is it? Ain't Chassidus believer. Chassidus is a limud. Anybody can learn high things, beautiful things. Anybody understands the Lashon of the Zohar can learn the Zohar. You learn it with Mefos. But to know what is the emphasis of tachlis of the Indian from how they can bring to the ultimate purpose and to bring Yidden out of the Golos. That's what the Rebbe Shimon heard from the Eibishter. That his Sefer is going to take us out of Golos. You're going to have a Rebbe, only with a Rebbe. And in our particular generation, none of them got a Rebbe, we've got something that all the Simonim and all the Inyonim plus, the fact that others said about him, he was Maramis, Baramozim Deilim, or Mufroim, that he is the Melech HaMashiach, he is the Koyach of Chayter, Ishai, V'yoshtetot, the ganze, in the Navuah of Yeshai. Remember, that's the whole meaning of Shvat. The whole meaning of Shvat is that Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yosef, Schneerza, that's Reish Gilei, as he came over the Anhoge, and it was immediately, it took a few months, but it was received by the Rebbe, Melech HaMashiach. That is the Indian to take us through the Yam Suf. Remember, after the whole Geula begins. That's where the Emes of the Geula begins, after completing the whole Kriyas Yam Suf. There was down in Yeshua that there's going to be another Kriyas Yam Suf, or not Kriyas Yam Suf, or Kriyas Hanahar. The Alter Rebbe and Mavai and Kutetira, that's a higher meaning. But there has to be a Kriya, to break through another Madriga in mind. That's in the Kudah, so the Ebser should give us all a lot of credit. Now it's Shvat, and this is the day in Kabbalah's Hamalchus, the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, it's a Kabbalah's Messias, and on his part, the Kabbalah's Hanhoge, the leading of the whole world. And remember, Mitzidenu, it's the union from Kabbalah's oil, Messias and Malchus of the Rebbe. We have to do it, we have to know it only that way. There's no other way. Because we see everything just as the days go by, you can see the darkness growing, the gloom growing more and more. And it's all because a lot of people say, well, we heard the Lubavitch, we heard what he said, but we know better. We see we're in, we're asleep. What we have to do is mamish at this moment and realize that only in the display, only in all the young what he was Makabe, only the Hovi we have Meshach Mashiach, and should be taken from Yad, and should be Rachmai. Because that's what it says, that Hovinin is Yafkun Mikarusa Barachamai. You have to go out after Barachamai. So many can you read. timing behind it. Just like we see that the meaning of Rebbe is to be Makala, the meaning of Reish Kalei, the meaning of there in a way that it should bring his jumps, go through the Yam, through the Mount Torah, through Mount Torah, it shouldn't be like so that was the plan, plan of Atchila. That would be for the one of the plans, the Indian American, that would have been, like I say, the prayer.
Thanks.
It's just like that, they are the Indian from the Rebbe. It's to be Mikala, Indian, Indian Sater, and the way that people be Mikala, what is the emes of Tachlis. The whole creation, the emes Indian, how the Torah is meant to be Mishpir. The whole world wants to open the Kawana in the Gila Torah, Mountain Torah. Just like that, we can say even more profound, we can say that even from a Rebbe, the fact that even from a Moshiach, his Indian is to be Megala, the Mile of Indian. His Indian is to reveal just how powerful and how unlimited his one Neshama, the Yid, no matter what should be Zinyan or where he might be, and how much more so, has come got all the Eden together, and you bring him to the Eden from after. Or Cheno Avinu Kulana Ki Effort, and like the always uses the expression, he says, Avis is for Achtus. In other words, the whole Eden from Hanavu is to be Megala, the Eden, how we're really all one Indian, all one Mamish, one Achtus. Like he brings down in the very common page, the Al Rebbe, that he goes through different stages of it, and then he says, Kulana, Ki Shefot Mamish, he'll be out ever with Kulana. We're all like just one Zush, one, Etzim, Posher, and we're all the sons of one father. What that means, absolute Achtus, and that's the posse, which talks about houses. The similar that all Eden and house is because of that, it's all Eden is to be Megala. Ultimately speaking, it's all Eden is to be Megala. So first, if he said that a Yid is an absolutely infinitesimal koyach, which is higher than all of the other inyanim. Therefore, all the time, as brought down in Siddur Bariches, that the Torah was given only as an assis koyach for the Neshama Saleh Mata. Since the Neshama is Yod, Kachamata, Tefer Mazeh, whatever the Torah is, that's the Messiah's koyach, which can give the Neshama its power, its guidance to make its way and to carry out its shlichus, B'zeh Ha'olam. Once it does, once it reveals its shlichus, B'zeh Ha'olam, then it rises higher than the Indian of the Torah. Really, B'sheres, the Neshamas, higher than the Torah. I was brought down the famous Pure, and the Alter Rebbe is Siddur, the Alter Rebbe is Mavai over there. When by the Chassanim, by the prophets that make, by the Birchas Nesuin under the Chuppah, and then by the Shavah prophets, we see the last two prophets have got to do with the relationship of the Neshamas with HaKadosh Baruch. That's the Eden from Chosam and Kala. The Eges is called the Eden from Chosam and the Neshamas are called Kala. And we see that it's brought down over there. The Alter Rebbe brings that the first, the second last, the Shavah Brachas, we say, Baruch Atah Hashem, Sameach Chosam V'Chal. That means that our Yidden, as Neshamas, are Mekabel from the Eibishter. In other words, that they're Nimshochim, and they need the Siyuya, of the Torah to help him. And that's the Indian from Chosim But then in the last prophet, we mentioned a whole series of tremendous Madrigas, Esser, Inyonim, that's connected to Esser Spirit. Aguzes, very high Madrigas. And then we say, Baruch Atah Hashem, Mesameach, Chosim Im HaKal. Mesameach, the Chosim with the Kal. What that means is there's some koyach in the Kala, what that's Mesameach, even the Chosim. So therefore it's brought down in that moment, because my mind from the Alter Rebbe, that the Indian from Chosim is how the Eibishter gives down the Torah, how the Eibishter is the Mashpir of the Torah. But there's a Indian in the Shabbos which is higher than that, it's even higher, and therefore he, Kaviyov, gains a special simcha purely for the Etzim Indian other than Neshama. But that's mashma just the Etzim Indian for the Neshamas K'moy Shahein. I feel without them being Mekayim the Torah B'Shleim. It's brought down, what the Gemara says, that the Eish is unable to be Mekayim the meaning from Gerush and Bayidno. Once he brought him into the world, that he gave the Torah, that was the Indian, or what you might call the Nasuyan, the Eish can't do anything, he can't divorce him. The Shaleach is some Efshel. In other words, he's literally in inverted commas stuck with them, because they are so essential, they're so much in for Atzmi as is not shy. That you can't send away your own self. Whatever is so upon him. And you Atzmi of yourself, you can't send away. And the whole Indian what Torah is from Island, and the Neshama, that's only a Indian which is down here, Lamar. And that's what we see by Kriyas Shamsa. And it's brought down, we spoke about it in the Shir Kloy, it's brought down in Siddur, it was mitzat the Maila of the Neshamas that the sea broke. In other words, the seas are very high Madrega. This is the Shorosh Malchus, Pnimis HaMalchus, very, very high Madrega. There's one on. Malchus got a very high Shorosh. In other words, when the Yam took at the Yidden, and the Yidden were all standing there by Yamsuf, and they're standing there with the Koyach of Moshe Rabbeinu. And at that particular moment, the one thing with Moshe Rabbeinu, all is Yoshia, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Yochid, they're all mamish, one together, Yidden and Moshe Rabbeinu. In other words, the Av Echel, the Kulayim, that from Madrega were all Yidden at the same mamish, and they're standing by the Yamsuf, so that the Yam took the Yam took a tzittak, the Yam became Moli Pachat, and then when Moshe Rabbeinu said, here we go, we got to go ahead. It's not like all the kids said, this one said Azayah, this one said Azayah. No, we have to go ahead into the Yam. So the Yam just said, Yidden, you told me what we have to do. So Yidden said he got a split. Not Benjamin said he got a split man. Not only did it split, but it turned into Hebrew, its own Matthias, it turned into Yabosh, it turned into dry land. So that's a for the top. In the highest level, I eat for the top. So where it came from came mitzat the Yidden. It came mitzat the Neshama. But that was the opposite of the Neshama. That's what you need a river for. You need a river to show you just what you really got. Who are you? And that's the Yidden for me, who Yehudi. And that's why the river can't take it when you got these unbelievable demons that they try to be mafatal the Yidden for me, who Yehudi, then who was it who shouted? Yeah, rage of Yishri. Rabbi Yosef ben Shnir, well that's the Rabbi. El Yishri. Because he is there when he reveals to you who are the Yidden, what are they, who are the Neshamas, what's in them. He's the one who shows you who they are. And remember, therefore, he's the one who's trying to often to mix their eyes, to tell somebody that they're plenty but plenty can maybe be a Yid, but he's not a Yid. That doesn't mean anything bad about that particular person. He's not right. Let him be whoever he is. And on the country, it could be he's got a certain status also in the creation. He's got a certain point in the creation. So we'll find a fellow of Chapman Sachayas. man is niet gedraaid. I said, yeah, nobody else will bring them in that. They're benched up and gate, they're benched and gate. That's it. That's the same. And I remember it come to this, the Rebbe, he's the one, he's the Reish. But he's Mekala, who is the Eir for the Shabbos Yisrael? Me, who Yehudi, Ver Sayyid. And I remember the Rebbe shows it, and Moshe Rabbeinu, he's Mekala in the Yidden, the court that they can say to the Yam, there's a client. You have no prayer, you got a spout. Notwithstanding the unbelievable one drag of the Yam with announcement. As for the other citizens, the Yidden got from the Yam also a shot spice. They got a lot of big hashpoil. Ultimately they were the bottom. They didn't give the bottom out. And I mean, that's what the Rebbe said once on Shvat, when they were talking that time about the hydrogen bomb. It was years ago. It could have been the hydrogen bomb. He said, Rachmani Miflan, they've already ruined the whole world with the hydrogen bomb, even though it didn't actually blow it up, but they blew it up underneath the surface of the earth. According to the different authorities, they ruined the whole mahalach with the atmosphere, of the weather on the earth, and the whole mahalach with any kind of mahalach. So they've done enough damage with the hydrogen bomb. Whoever said, what is a hydrogen bomb? Whoever said that somebody sits in a meshugah in a place somewhere, and he presses a meshugah in a button and trach, just lets out this unbelievable energy that has no source, to damage them, to bring heres, bavod, thousands and millions of things. So whoever said, peak to say is a neshama. Your neshama from the Yid is peak to say your hydrogen bomb. And if you just press the right point and the right little button in the neshama of a Yid, he can let go energy that can change the whole world, blow it up, and be mahapachit. The one that sees tonight. That's what a Yid is. And who revealed to you that? Who told you such a story? Reish Galei told you the story. And you could learn the Zohar Kodesh, you could learn the Tikkun Zohar, you could learn the Kisvei Arizah, and you wouldn't come to that conclusion. You'd be a very elevated person, and you'd be a nice person, you'd be a Talmud Chacham, a Kolateus, a Talmud Mailis, but you wouldn't come to that conclusion. And if when you look in Tanya, I remember quite a few of the guys in Bnei Brak, the Poivis and others, I used to learn with them Tanya, and they all said, why does Tanya start off with the Neshama? What's it done immediately with the Nefesh HaBahami? It's in Perek Aleph, he talks about the Nefesh HaBahami. And then the next Perek Beis, or Beis is like the start of the Torah, Bereis is right from the Beis. Now the Dafki Perek Beis, but that's the emes of Bereishis, that's the emes of beginning. Zot the Alter Rebbe, what is a Neshama from a Yidden? And he says it's a Chelek Elakam Mimal Man. And the whole Perek he goes on to be Mabab was the Mimal of the Neshama. And then in Perek Gimel he tells you what sort of koiches the Neshama has. That's a revealed koich. And then in Perek Dal he tells you about the Levushim. And then in Perek Hay he talks about how it can be masik. Elokus. It takes I don't know how many chapters till he actually starts talking about, wait a minute, what's the pain in here? We're supposed to be talking about Sefer Shol. Pain in him. And Perek Yud Beis, he begins to tell you what is the pain. The whole time up to now, he's been telling you all about what a neshama is. You want to know anything about Pnimis HaTorah, you want to know anything about the ganze Tachlis of the whole world, you want to know what is the Tachlis. You have to first of all know what is a neshama. And you have to know what she really is and what she can do, what she's supposed to do, Bizin the Yinifin Levushim, from Achava Dibur and Maisa, from understanding simple Minyanim, etc., etc. And then we see that the whole secret to everything, and the hydrogen bomb, which can blow the whole tree, is a Yid, and a And in order to know that, and in order to make that real, you've got to have a Reish delay. You've got to have Rebbe Shimon, Bayochoy, Rebbe Yitzchok, and Shleiman, with all the Rosh HaTev, until you reach the Rebbe, Melech HaMashiach. And he shows you what is a Yid, he shows you what is the koyach of a Yid. Therefore, the Rebbe says, if you touch off a Yid anywhere, if it cuts me tail, then you can sit and philosophize with him for hours, and you probably won't reach anything. Because the mud of the Nefesh HaBahami is very heavy. But if you put tefillin on him, if you put tefillin them, it's like lighting that little, you know, when you light these cracker bombs. I thought Dave should know about it. Yeah, we should know everything about it because we get enough of them around here sometimes. We should know everything about it. I don't want to be mum should eat them from firecrackers. Well, also put if you light the fuse, it blows up and try. It blows up a tremendous Indian, which is Madu, which is Mari, Rafri. Well, that's the Indian of a Rebbe. He touches off, he cuts the table. Yeah, he puts on fuel, it's like lighting the fuse. And once that goes in, the next thing, who knows what sort of energy can be released. An energy which can be Mahaput, the whole matzah. It can be Mayfir, Atzah, Sushoya. It can stop. And I remember when the Rebbe had Gesot, and that was the whole tragedy of certain people over here when the Sadat, the Melech Mitzrayim, he came and he went into Yerushalayim. There's what a beautiful thing is this one. They didn't realize unless he gave them the Yachal there. So the Rebbe here wants to talk about from the Ner Shabbos Kodesh, from the young, the small girls should like here Ner of Shabbos Kodesh, and it just so happens that there when he's sitting in the government now for Geld, he's prepared to sell the whole Eretz Yisrael for money. He was the one who said he doesn't agree with the Rebbe about that. Now take a look and see what's wie viel Dinarim sind Meduyak. Just to see how Meduyak it is. Gewinnt der, was gesagt, nicht machst du mit Babet. And the Rebbe said to light the Ner Shabbos Kodesh. Then what the Rebbe said in the middle of a Sikha, and the reason it didn't get so enforceable was he said it on Shabbos. Therefore it wasn't immediately come out on all the tapes, but the guns to do it. The Rebbe said that when a little girl lights, it said that she is Mevatel Sadatn. The Rebbe used his name. It was very unusual for the Rebbe to do that. He never used their names. He was morose to them, but he never used their names. And then the Rebbe said that if a young girl will light a Shabbos Kodesh, and there Shabbos Kodesh, she's Mevatel Sadatn. That was the Rosh. Sadat, no, the one Sadat. Melech Mitzrayim. You're so young, you don't even remember this. You're in your nafish for it. Rasmon in the Tlan. It's not all that far back. That's what the Rebbe gesagt, that that's going to be Mevatel. Was it the Ina from Ner Shabbos Kodesh? Who was you doing it? Was it the same? Why would it have to bow to be Mevatel and Mayfair, the whole Indian? Because that lights up the Yiddish and the Shaman. That's what the Rebbe said. That Adi day what they light the Ner of Shabbos Kodesh, the Megala, the Indian from there, the Shaman, all the way back to Sarah Imain. The Rebbe was smart with the whole Indian Barichas, but that's what's written that in the 10th of Sarah Imain, there was Ner Doyle of Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos, and Rashi brings it down. Rashi brings it down in Pasha Chaya, what is it? Pasha Chaya Zohar. That's all. That's all. We see that that's the Indian, that's the little Yiddish and the Shaman. It's going to light off the fuse, but that can blow up the whole world. Or will blow up the whole world in a good way. And now because they didn't listen yet to the Rebbe, or the Zelber Sadat, or his Koyach, is filling up all these unbelievable caves down there alongside the ladder, and everybody knows about it. Millions of tons of weapons. No, he's making shot with you. He's your big friend. One minute wie kommt das an? If you forgot about it, the ain and ancient Gezach is that they didn't realize you have to be Mevatel Sadat. You mustn't listen to him. You must bring him the days, emus of people, and that's his whole tachlis. It's brought down in Iron Bays that Rabbi Hashem said over there that the clippers were only made to be Mevatel there. And he said that's a Tva Peled, that the age to brought a thing into the world. The whole tachlis is it should be Mevatel. That's a Tva Peled, it needs a beer. For us it does, a beer Zayda. Of a cane, who had over. The clippers are only made, or it should be Mevatel. The whole thing is that a Yiddish and a Shom has to blow him up. Not with a power, not with guns, with corning. Just do what the Rebbe said, just be McGowan. The Emerson Tachlis, what you have to do here. Yeah, but one thing is, don't listen to the Goyim and don't give in to him. You don't need to fight them. Don't need to shoot anybody. Just be what you're supposed to be. Be on the Shom. And you got the power to blow up the whole world. Just down here, yeah, Ne'er Havaya, Nishma Sodom, you need the Ne'er Havaya, you need the mitzvah to be Megala, but sof, you're the Barabas. You become the Barabas of the world. Our Yiddish Neshama is a koyach beyond the mitzvah. The mitzvah is only important to be Megala, the koyach of the Neshama. That's a ribbon. You say that to him, it's not, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. You become a Vuba. Over the emes and tachlis for him is also to hear that. That Avek was something. I mean, that's the Indian where we are nowadays. That all we need to do is just light the fuse the way, Melech HaMashiach, rage delay, light the fuse the way he said it, and then drop. The whole thing will blow up, it's not a hydrogen bomb, it'll blow up the emes away, the Yam will split itself. By Yosef Havaya Shektis Yodeh, David's going to do it all over again. He's going to blow the Yam Suf, but it's going to be on a half. The Das Kamer and a half brass. But David's going to blow it apart because of the Yam Suf. Oh, but that's going to be because of the Neshama. It stayed clear into this. That's the Pshat Oz. Oz Yosef, Moshe B'nai Yisrael. The Rebbe Rashab writes in a Maimon, Ayin Test, that Oz is the Neshama. Because Oz means primordial. Wherever you are, and you say Oz, you mean a time a bit ahead of yourself or above you. Then, it's not quite reach it. But when we find the ship low. That's the Neshamas. No matter how high you will understand a Jew, you'll never really quite understand him. He's higher and better than what you think. And the Father says, Oz. Give you that power. Well, that's what brought the whole Yam Suf, the whole, the Neshamas of this guitar. That's in the Mitzvah. When you go out of Mitzvah, you light up the Neshama of a Yid and you give it to him. He should reveal that unbelievable hydrogen bomb that he's got inside himself. But he's got to do it down here. He's got to do it the Torah's way. If you don't do it the Torah's way, then he doesn't become a hydrogen bomb. Rashmon and the Tlana, he can become a bomb to blow things up not the right way. That's what we see, that Yidden are restless. If they don't go, if the Neshama doesn't go the right way, then Rashmon and the Tlana knows where it can go, or what it can blow up. Because how do you call it? It's an explosive entity. It's a restless entity, Neshama. Remember, that's what we have to know. We've got to know that only a Rebbe and a Melech HaMashiach can be Megala at that power. And that's what the Rebbe's done all around the world. He's made Yidden wake up from the deep colors. Because once a person wakes up to what he really has inside him, then he realizes that he can overcome this whole business. Or he realizes at least he can be higher than it, and he can bring light and Teshuvah and Hatzolah, like the Rambam said. That you bring Teshuvah for Hatzolah, Kol HaOlam Kulei. I mean, that's the Indian. We've got to know now that the Indian for Shvat, and Yonah is Megala science, that there's hidden the hydrogen bomb that there is in each and every year. That he can just blow up his whole surroundings. But in order to do that, you've got to get out of it. You've got to be, not held down by the Hanochas O'Elam. And that's what he says in the Botzi the Khan. If you get wrapped up in what people say, then you forgot. Then you're right. You've got to forget altogether what people say. You've got to only listen to what the Rebbe says. You've got to be took care of Machatif was there, the Rebbe and Kamur and all the other Rebbeim. Will be the Rebbe, because he's our Moira the Indians there, his man's there, and he's the Melech HaMashiach. But again, Etzem, Kiyum, Kol HaOlam Kulei, and they're coming to the earth, to the Temes Tachlis. That's our Indian, that's a even you also have to hear all the other Rebbeim. If you do it their way, then you don't have to worry what people think. You don't have to worry what the world says. You don't have to worry, no. Ain't shul chashash cloud. And on the contrary, if Yena has got a problem, and he doesn't like the way they say in the old slang, if you don't like the way you part your beard, part your hair, if he doesn't like that, that's his problem. That's his problem. He doesn't like a badge, that's his problem. So a guy said to me in Panama, what's the purpose of this? What do you go with this? I said, I just want to remind myself and those around me that Mashiach is one of the Ikrei Hados. The Rambam says it's one of the 12 or 13 principles that if you don't hold by them, then you're Rahman in the Torah. I don't want to say it. So what's the nafkamina that you hold by the fact that the Torah was given by Sinai, or the inner that you hold that Mashiach has to come? And the Rambam said, B'chol Yom. It wasn't nafkamina zeh b'zeh. So I said it to this guy. I said, that's why we're the bad. He didn't know what to say. I mean, not that I want to be military. Not that I want to be in the argument. I mean, that's not my way. I don't want to, make him feel that I said something that he couldn't answer me back. That's not the point. The point isn't the point of he didn't answer back. That's what's the point. Not that I said it and he didn't answer back. The point is that he heard the Nakuda. He realized that it was the Nakuda's I'm sorry is for our meeting. That's it. Remember, we've got to get this across to Yidden. It's every minute that goes by now, it's precious. We've got to get the message across. Remember, it's tough getting in to do something, or to wear something, or to go something in such a way that people will pick up the vibe. They will pick up the message that Hina Mashiach Bar. It's very, very important. It's essential. We have to act that way. We've got to come out of hiding. We've got to be Bereish Galei. We've got to be with the koyach of Rabbi Shimon, with all the Rosh Hashanahs, even that's out there in the open. And Dover B'Shem Reimrei, that's one of the few things that the Gemara and the Mishnah in Peviyah, upon him in the Perish Shidot, that's how I said. If you say something over in the name of he who said it, then that brings Giur L'Olam. That's a pillar. But the great misfortune look for reasons. What was so great that you said something over in the name of the person who said it, but the riot is from Esther. Esther b'shem Mordechai. She said to Achashverosh in the name of Mordechai. That's why I'm Stam Achashverosh. Esther said to the Rabbeinu b'shem Mordechai. She said, "Oh, b'shem Mordechai." I feel it to the Rabbeinu. Well, he knows anyway that Mordechai said it. No, b'daf you have to say b'shem Mordechai. That's in you. We've got to give over in the name of the Rebbe. We've got to say it b'shem Mordechai. And then people move to Chani b'zeh. The people will listen. If you say in the name of the Rebbe, you say with a pshitas, with a toike, people will listen. I will show them. He's a person, I don't know what he's one of these Claudius, He's a very nice guy, very little guy. And he's building, and I think what's to build on top of a 44-story building and whatever. I was just spotting it, the building on top of another building. And he's looking to get all sorts of issurim from the area. So I wish him well. I don't mind if he builds on top of the building. I don't have any problem with it. So we met, so there's a new thing now. If you want to build on top of the building, you first got to fix up the miklat. Which they won't let you do anything in your building unless you fix up the miklat. I don't want to make you guys scared. I don't want to throw any pachad on anybody. Why are they so worried about the miklat here? Don't put it together. He is now fixing up the miklat, and the other training was so addition that they couldn't care a hang about anything. They said, "You want to build? You pay for the miklat." I said to them, "That's the most terrible thing. We all have to put in for the miklat." He said, "They told me, you want to build? You pay for the miklat." Because they don't believe there's a worry about the miklat. They refuse to believe it. Of the people that got seichel saying, "No, you've got to fix up the miklat." We should never know about it. That's what's happening in the world. That's what's going on. He's got, this morning he had a whole bunch of guys that they were fixing up. They're putting a big iron door on the place. So we had a nice little talk. I said, "You know why you should build?" I said, "Because the Rebbe said, if you talk to Shimon Tez, that everybody should build." She said, "Sorry." I explained to him what the Rebbe said, the whole thing of Mivtza Abinyan was called that. What was the group? Shnas Abinyan. So she meant test. Everybody should build. So when I told him, he was very happy. He was mamish happy. He was mamish more lechet of a simcha that the Rebbe had said that he should build. Carry out what the Rebbe had killed. He was very pleased. I said to him, the Rebbe said, I know, the Rebbe said, Moshiach has to come, and we're going to bring Moshiach. I have to think about that one. Although upon him, I threw him a seed, you understand? I threw him a seed. So now, every time you think about building his piece on the roof, he's going to think that the Rebbe was going to bring Moshiach. He's going to link one with the other, but he didn't look at me bad or anything. He didn't sort of wasn't pick up a tomato from the miklat and throw it at me or something. He just said, oh yeah. And that's the way it is. It doesn't matter who you talk to. Get a kid across. I mean, that's the eating, guys. We're now in the summer. We're now in the summer. I'm with the Matzu, where the Rebbe said it. He said that it's going to come a point, we're talking about Mashiach, it's going to be good. I mean, otherwise we shouldn't have had to come to that. Oh, that's not because there's all these unpleasant sides. We've got to do it, we're too low. We've got to say, pray like a hayat, and gesundheit. The only way it's going to be done is to listen to the person. There's no other way. The world turns itself upside down. Only for Eden could say it. Only in Kenya, he loves it. And you might say, oh, who am I? Oh, you are hydrogen. You are a yid. You are higher than the whole thing. You are higher than the Yam Suf. And the Yam Suf only broke itself because of a yid. And the Yid and Moshe Rabbeinu were all one thing at that moment. They can't say, oh, only Moshe Rabbeinu can do it. No, all of us together can do it. With Moshe Rabbeinu together, come on. Oh, but don't say that you have no, you've got unlimited powers. Unlimited. Mom is built in Gvulim. Koich is built in Mubarak Cloud. That was the scene on Shvat. When the Rebbe said that scene about the hydrogen. And every year is like a button. You press it, and you release this unbelievable energy. Now, I remember, oh man, can you hear us? Guys, we can't just stay like this. We've got to get things moving. Once upon a time it was nice to sit down and say, Shvat, and I seen you, and this, and we went home, and it was very nice, and now we can't do it that way anymore. Break through this whole unbelievable the only way to do this is with a little hydrogen. At the end, I'd say, you might say, well, who's going to let off the hydrogen? Well, you can let off the hydrogen. If you just talk about Mashiach, you release an unbelievable energy. Because you're doing it the Rebbe's way, you're doing it not the Mashiach's way. Omen Kenya Hirots and we had Mami's Vahi Bashala Pari, so Pari did it. He set the people down. Once the Neshama started talking, then he was the one who did it. Omen Kenya Hirots and Sasayan also and Simcha and Brocha, everybody needs some sort of Brocha, but should have it in the last moments before the Mami's Mashiach comes. Shall be een gezond leven, een veilig leven van de Omen Keniot.
Wenn Minister lernt sich mit dem Leben, soll Mathe in der Buch, Mathe was so zwar beruhigt werden.
Amen. Refus Yalla for Moshe Yehuda ben Sheva.
Refus Lema.
Refus Lema Yisrael Doim ben Sheva.
Margarita.
said that was a document that had everything in it. Our generation needed to know bring Mashiach, live in the world after be a Mashiach. That was the head Possi Laganim that Rebbe gave out. The Rebbe gave it out to the Shabbos. The day was a stout, or whatever that may mean. It means that the maybe like Rebbe was provided. First Possi Laganim is stout. Russian Gilo is stout. Stout, you've got to be good at sleep. And say it's mashing, you touch the stout. But it's a Gilo. A Gilo is repair. I say, people follow in. In other words, it's Stalik, or the state of heaven, and the state of Gilo. It's like the famous Gemara got in Sector Bates, down at Maflikas, in Rabbi Eliezer, at Bonn, I think it is, as to Rabbi Yontif, which is Kudel Hashem, Loi Shum Dovar Hashem, whether it's Chatzil, or Rabbi Yeshua, he holds it's Chatzil Hashem or Chatzil Hashem. So Rabbi Eliezer, he held Yontif, you're allowed to either Suda for a few minutes, because you have to learn the whole day of Yontif, because he held it was Kudel Hashem. Put down in the Gemara that he used to study Strasha after davening. Rabbi Eliezer used to begin davening. So at the beginning he had a full show. But gradually one after the other was a chapsik. He was getting this davening the whole Shabbos and all the and they wanted to go home and have a Barbatish Suda. They held, the Chatzil Hashem, they knew that he held the Hashem. But one by one they had a chapsik. And it's put in the end of it, he was asking to a more deceptive face. And it's in Onam's great base, the Sector Bates. It says here, they start over one by one, they all cut away. That's what can you do. The only thing is, we have to say that they're all weary from their weight of good stuff that they're in. Being doing all such positive and young, we don't really need a little bit of maneuver with cage. Anyway, suffice it to say, we see that document, it's got like like all things, it's got a beginning, it's got a seal, it's got a thing it begins with, and a thing that it completes with. And we see that the Ekim message of the first Maimon is the Elim of Shtus. Not safe, not dark, not safe. And then there's Mavaya over there, there's Hatoya, Mailamina Seifel, and there's a Hatoya, Lamatamina Seifel. Shtus, the word Hatoya, the word United. Whenever there can be a Lamatam Mitam Vadas, it's also Shtus. And then it can be a Lamaila Mitam Vadas, but this is also called Shtus, Tzadiyin, and Hatoya. I ain't going away from the Kabbah. Hamitzua, the medium, how they call it, the golden medium. Well, if you look carefully, you'll see that every priest of the Elden Metafla is Shtus Malami Mitzua, Shtus the Kedusha. It says that it's Ali Day, what you Mavada, the Shtus to the Umas. In other words, that you can't just hope that you're going to just jump into Shtus. The Kedusha, that you've got enough Shtus to the Umas there. In other words, it brings all sorts of noise that people conduct themselves according to the Hanochis of Elon, and there's all sorts of steer, a whole big place, they're doing shading to the person's life, and there has to be a Bira in that kufa. You can't just hold by Shtus to Kedusha, or then a Hamiti is when you still got your foot in the mud in the Shtus to the Umas. There has to be a Bira, and he's part of this, but you have to take that kufa from the Shtus to the Umas. That knowing that there's like things that you devote yourself to, even without questioning them, as it were, Hanochis or Hanochis means an assumed zah. And then you have to take that koyach and generate that energy into the inner from island. That's a whole inner. So that the Nevi'im are called, he brings that a Navi was called by office, he called Mashiach, לא מתוך את הגלוג, המשוגע הזה, מדוע, המשוגע הזה בו, that Meshuggah is not just L'mayla mi-hakav, no, Meshuggah is really L'mayla mi-hakav. In other words, an emissary that he's being revealed. It brings that Yavshei Shaul as Begodah, that Shaul took off all the previous Begodim that he had. In other words, it's not enough to say, oh yeah, I'll go do it. You've got to get rid of all the other Inyan. Yeah, you've got to first of all chuck away a lot of things. That's a painful thing. It's not an easy thing. But once you start generating that energy, then you're drawn into the L'mayla mi-tarvot. Ask Bofrat that you link in with the Inyan and the Neshama, where it must be before. And the Neshama's got emphasis on unlimited energy. You draw yourself into an unlimited energy. Never promised he's got Turkey, but he's a bluffer. He doesn't have emphasis energy. He's just a blazer, he makes a lot of trouble. But if you just say, no, we're going to take that energy that you're talking about, we're going to bring it over into the L'mayla mi-tarvot, then he drops out of the picture. I say it's much more. In other words, it all depends, if you go strong enough. In other words, if you release a bit of that unlimited energy that we spoke about. But that's before the emissary. The emissary releases only when you get the L'mayla mi-mitzvah. But it has to be by Yavshei Shaul Gam Hu is Begodah. You've got to take off your previous way of doing things. With a certain ticket, you've got to throw it out. That's quite a business. It's not as easy as it sounds. That's the way the whole hymn should begin. That's the key to the Ika Hagosh at the beginning, and the Ika Hagosh at the end is about soldiers. It's about pushing the soldiers going into a war, and that they go, and even but a whole amazing arichas of there about soldiers, about war. So Moshe got a little bit of time what it's like to be a soldier. I've been a soldier in 2 armies. In the Australian army for a long time. And then I came over here, and after a few years I found myself here in the army. So nevertheless, I took was at the top. And it's exactly what the Rebbe writes on. Pushing the soldiers, they don't know the men. They make these women, they don't know what the generals are. Therefore, the army just tells Hagar, he knows it very well. The army is a place of rumors. That's one thing you have to do. If you're joining the army, you're coming to an army, you've got to be put ill by yourself that you don't listen to what the other guys are saying as to what's going to be. Because they all pass rumors on what they're going. It's just a lot of rumors. Why is that? Why are there so many rumors? Because the way our army works is that you really don't know what is going on. You don't really know what's going on. And in a way you're not meant to. Because if you did, then you would say, wait a minute, I reckon we should do this birth. This. And therefore when you were told what to be doing, you would say, wait a minute, I really hope you should be doing something else. But typically by Yidden, for sure, that's the way it works. And therefore, it's deliberate. You don't know what the generals are thinking. I mean, over here, I wish the generals would all sign over. They'd bring in some new ones. I'm praising the generals over here. But what I'm saying is that generally speaking, that's the way it is, that you don't know what the high-knobs are thinking. Your Eden is only to just do what you have to do. But not just to do what you have to do. But that's Kabbalah Sel Yavesha, and if you're dry Kabbalah Sel, you got to do it. Yad Roma, Yad Roma, or even deeper than Stam Yad Roma, you got to do with the Koyach HaNeitzah, which is Nitzah. That's like we saw in Samopot. We learned in the Shir the other night in Samopot. He talks about the emes of Baal Tshuva is Einer was says K'moy b'milchama. Man is needed from a soldier. And that he's mafkir as hatzmei behefkedus gedoyla. He just throws away everything. He's mafkir himself. In other words, a chayil poshut, but regular when he goes into the etzem marocha, the etzem order of the battle, he doesn't know from anything. Only he's just going to be victorious. At the whole inyan and oigu for nature. And that's an unbelievable koyach. And the Rebbe calls it in Talmud Hefkei, that you've got to be mafkir yourself. Therefore, people say that the Hemshekim, let's see, with some above and I am based, Haskol. It's a Torah. They are not a Torah chemistry. I mean, we learn iron base together. When you learn iron base and you learn this, you see that they're not Haskalah. The Haskalah is only in order to make you understand how you in other words, to be a good Chayal Poshet, you've got to be taught how to do it. It's all the Haskalah is to teach you how to be a Chayal. Oh, the Tachlis is how to be a Chayal Poshet. And the Hemshech Poshet, the guys are very learned Hemshech. It's full of a lot of very deep in Yonim. But it begins with Shtus and it finishes off with Chayal Poshet. It's a similar, all that's written in the middle is to teach you how to be a Chayal Poshet. Oh, the Tachlis is, you just got to go exactly the way the general says, Loi lintois yeminu shmo, cholilu v'chad. If you don't obey their orders, then there's no way you're going to win. You've got to do exactly what the general Gehaisen, and then you go with the Koyach HaNitzachim, with the Pshitas, and boom. Everything follows before you. I mean, that's in the good, that's what we're holding nowadays. Everybody says, the whole thing is Meshuggah, who knows? The rockets are falling in Sderot, they're all falling in Ashkelon. There's a few from Ashkelon, a couple of them. No, what's it? I'm in my little Dalgamas, I'm in Benega. Things like that don't happen. You don't have to worry. There's a place of address, you learn, you daven, you don't forget. Sorry, Reish Kalei doesn't hold for that. Reish Kalei. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai with all the men, peace, men, shniz, mamish, Melech HaMashiach, he doesn't hold that way. And he's the Reish. And with him you go through the Amsur. And he says that you've got to be a Chayal Poshet. You've got to go, Emes, you've got to learn things, but you've got to take that learning into a Marocha, and you've got to know that it's on the Homa, as they state in some brings it right, and the Avedis HaTshuva, Uki'ish, Anitzah B'Mucham, by the state laws. Philip Floyd, we happened to learn just last night, we learned in the Shir and so on. And I'm here at Desert, and we've got to come to that Matthias now, of putting everything aside, of like, to know that we're going to go to Mailamia, but we got to take that energy from the Matamia. There's a lot of energy down there. You got to schlep that up and throw it into the Vayavshe Show Gamus Bakar. You got to take it all away, but not just throw it out, but take at least the take it. All the Levushim, all the Shtus, that's got to throw away. Or so you have to take the energy into the Mailamia. And then you just got to go, see me a Chayal Poshet. And the Rebbe says, talk about Mashiach Torah. The Rebbe says, say Yechia Melech and say Yechia. What the Rebbe says, just do it with the Pshitas and the Simcha, the Tu Levo, and with the Koyach HaNitzachim, build Teshuvah Sofi. That's going to work. How do we know how it's going to work? We're amazing it. Of a bleed, cold, Sofi, it's going to work. And it's Mahmish Pikut Nefesh right now that it has to work. Or that's believe Shum Sofi that it's going to work. And I'm here, that's the Indian of the Basi Lagani that it begins in that way and it completes itself that way. Therefore, you find, if you look carefully in all the Maimonim with the Rebbeim, and Befrat in the Rebbeim, for the Miyaseh, the Tom Hatmim, that's the Rebbe Rashad Mishmaseh. If you look at this Maimonim, you say, oh, that's all too high for me, it's all Ashkara. It's not true. If you look carefully, then you see that he always comes back to the simple inyanim with us. I mean, Bren, after he's told you a few hoiche Sachen, all of a sudden he tells you, Mam is bepasht, kach v'kach hu ha'ini. And it's dubbed into my morning from the Rashab and the Friedrich Rebbe and the Rebbe. Melech Moshe, but these things come out, Davki to save Kol Am Shocher. Davki out to all the Rebbeim reveal of everything. Davki, that's soft. Am Shocher, that's what comes out for prayer. Simple, Pashat Zachen. Go like a child Pashur. Take on yourself, Kabbalah, Selma, in money, which are not verbunden mit Askola. So people say, wait a minute, I have a problem with some of all this Askola. It's not Askola. It's just teaching you to have the taker to be a Pashta man. Or in Pashta man, Chayal Push. Was it also? That's upstairs. Well, welcome to it. Das ist der Limit. Siddhis is not a high, falutin thing. Siddhis is very high falutin, but it's meant to make you push. That's a famous Muslim with Rabbi Harichet. He was a Gewaldig maskil, the Kolateas. And the fact that he was a maskil is well known by the Rebbeim. The Rebbeim said that he was a maskil. They bring the Kodesh Kedushas from the Rebbeim, that they said about Rabbi Hillel that he was a maskil. He was a mensch what he knew all the pnimis, all the heiche Sachen. And he once had a talk with a Misnagid or somebody who was just become a chassid. I forget exactly how it worked out. And he said, he asked Rabbi Hillel, what was he aiming for? What was Eikant's tachlis? What was he looking for with all this unbelievable avodah and all the unbelievable things that he put into it? So Rabbi Hillel said the whole of his life he's been working to reach the madrega of an ish posher. He wants to reach the madrega of an ish posher. Was it the Gemara? The whole unbelievable Askola, all the unbelievable, he wrote for him, it was all in order to be an ish posher. Because that is the tachlis from Siddha. That is what it's all about. You got to be able to go into that battle and you got to fight a war pink to see the chayil pressure. You got to do it, but take it, and you take with you all the unbelievable things you learn, and but that gives you the queer and the yichulis to do so. Because if Rabbi Hillel worked all his life to be a ish pashut, it's a sign that's not easy. And it doesn't come on easy of an ein brera b'yateinu. That is the way. That is the practice on the other side. All we're going to do is just be chayalim p'shutim. Just got to go out and do each one according to his qualities, each one according to his abilities, and apply the law as a law. It's a big battle. The only way it's going to be won is with the taking of chayalim. That's why the whole Moshe in Vasi Lagani is built around the whole concept of chayalim, the whole care, the seal. And then he brings that even the leader, even he throws himself in. Then there's mafkir, we state the verse, mashli chayov minegim. It's a ridiculous thing. And we see by all the Rebbeim exactly that. They throw themselves ad chayayim mamish. Everything into the battle ad gemir. Therefore, I was in the Rebbe's house, and he started the Rebbe's. I tell him several times that you could see the Rebbe lived in a house where he didn't really live there. It was so posh and it was so not decorated that it just wasn't harogim, kafi anog in arts separate. It just wasn't, because the Rebbe being posh, it wasn't. He didn't have any. There was no achiza, klal, dvorim keila. That's like. Therefore, when by the Shiva, when he was sitting Shiva after the Rebbe, there came one of the Polish Rebbe's, one of the Polish Ikuti from Borokar. And when he took and after he was Menachem the Rebbe, he took Leibel Groner outside and he shrayed him out. He said, how come you let your Rebbe like that? He said, to make him a palace, but make him a decent house. I was in the kitchen. The kitchen Rebbe, one of these old metal sinks, one of these old stainless steel metal sinks he had there in the corner, and an old frigidaire, wasn't a new one, and a little table, a couple of chairs in the kitchen where he used to drink coffee. They say the Rebbe and then it was very posh at the kitchen, and a small, big, posh, Shvat. And I even heard even more. I wasn't in there, but I heard from some of them. When Michaelis prayed, Kalatua stepped into the toilet. It was still one of those things that you work without, a plunger. And you had to pull it. At least the one that was downstairs. Maybe there's another one upstairs before one. I don't know. אבל לא יכול פעמים ככה אני שמעתי מאיש נאמן. And when I left, he said, we see the Rebbe pushing. He didn't have, so was it a dice? What did Rebbe Parna say to him? And he meant it good. He didn't mean to say, he didn't mean to make trouble. He just said, he got a Rebbe, give him a basic code, look after the guy, make him a decent home. So they were answered, we can't do anything. It was mixed. He won't allow it. That's what they will say. It was mixed. He doesn't let. They can figure super out before the time. We asked him, all of them, he said, oh, well, you can name, what was his name? Guardia. Zalman Guardia. They used to call him, he's town. Muzas, he used to call the holy cloud, they used to call him Jimmy Guardia. But that guy's Zalman Guardia. And he was he had a few bucks. He earned money, got himself into trouble, in prison a few months. Well, he had money. And he bought the Rebbe a beautiful car. You know that car that the Rebbe had, that even in the years it was, not in the noons or something, but in the middle when the Rebbe was mamish, every day, the whole Seder Hayom, they used to have to, in the winter, these particular days, they used to take the car into the garage and work on it so that they would be sure the next morning it would turn on. It was so old that there was a charge, there would a bit of cold and moisture on the car during the night. In the morning, maybe it wouldn't go. And they used to work on it especially as though they'll be sure that the next morning when clearly presses the start of it will go on. I'd get a car to give him the Rebbe's car. And it was a rattle trap. They gave me what cars are in America. So Zalman Guardia comes in now full of more Simcha Mechedli, and he announces to the Rebbe, he's got this beautiful new car. And the Rebbe said, what on earth are you up to? He said, oh, he bought the Rebbe a new car. The Rebbe said, give it to the stocker. The Rebbe said, if you got money to play around like that, give it away to the stocker. Give the ganze car away to the Aniyim. So I said, but he said, Rebbe, they say your car is not, The Rebbe said, the car's a good car. So what's he got to do? Maui said. He took the car and he gave it away to the Aniyim. I don't know who he gave it to. I suppose you wanted to be. Well, the Rebbe didn't use it. The Rebbe used the same old car. However, he just wasn't in these non-clubs. Let's look through Twisa's market. Because he was busy bringing Mashiach. The Rebbe wanted that everybody should have a good world, the way it was meant to be. In the middle, but my next year, they'll have another, nice tile inside my toilet. So this man, where I can make the world better for everybody. There's a sign of Harikot, there's a sign of unbelievably beautiful world. For our table, I feel great. Of our cameras, we said what in the Neshama. My next year, that's unbelievable. We have to be Madonna ourselves a little bit. We have to realize we've got to leave it all behind. We've got to throw it on. I wish everybody should have everything they need about Chova. Chasna machen the Kinder, we shall tell them totally about Chova. I wish everybody should have it. I wish he's always open nachas. Nicht nur ich, also ich soll oben nach. Aber we've got to realize that we've got a task to do for who I can. I'm not going to all the Arinyanim will follow suit. The Rebbe looks after his people. The Rebbe's not going to leave you. It's just on our back and it's on our customer. The Rebbe looks after. I think that's I remember when I went into that got into the back of the house. There's a hole in it. I had a bit of pull with Freddie because I was very, very close to his brother in Australia, to Yitzchak. So all the years I had a little bit of a Messiah strain. I'll tell you something. When I come on a bit of a hot cookie, I think, okay, I don't know if he's sort of, his girl's been exactly the same one, but he's very nice to me, I must say. He's very decent. Very good. So I had a bit of pull with him, so I actually, somebody gave me his cellular. I don't have a cellular, but I got somebody's cellular and I called him up and I said, look, I need to tell you something, show you something. I forget exactly what it was. It was immediately after the show when the rest was inside the house. So he says, come over, go around the house and knock on the kitchen door and I'll let you in. That's what he said. I went round the back of the house. I knocked on the door and he let me in. They were going to let me in and I saw the kitchen. I saw it with my own eye. They ain't impossible. I couldn't believe my eyes. This is the Rebbe's kitchen. So Label didn't want we should. He was sitting in there. He was sitting in the kitchen. But he didn't want we should sit in the kitchen because they should, I'll draw too many conclusions. So he took me into those, like a sort of a little led into the area where the Rebbe died. It was like a sort of a hall or something. We went in there at the beginning of that hall. There was also a little table. We sat down there and I had what I had to say. I was sitting from back because the Rebbe was upstairs. Just up the stairs. Here I am sitting talking with Label. So I kind of wanted to get out quick. So I finished what I had to say to him and then he let me out to the kitchen door. I went round the side and I just, I went my way as they said. I also put him. You saw was it attached? Reish Gillen was it attached? The Reish of the word, the Hemshech, the Milui, the Shleimus, the Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai. You saw what it was. And the father Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai, Ish B'Kain Yidden, sat in a mire and he was perfectly happy. But yeah, he sat in the mire and he measured the whole Zohar Kodesh. The whole Zohar Kodesh. The Alter Rebbe didn't take him very long. He was so into it, he was so fakar, that the Alter Rebbe says in the Geras HaKodesh, Loi Lokach Hesei Yosef, me Kama Shavuos or Kama Chadoshim, Loi Ma'as Kol HaZohar. And the rest of 13 years he was mafal for the Mishnayos and the prizes and the Gemara to it. I just take that to me. And the Mokkich kriegt das, the Mokkich kriegt das, he's more error. There's a famous passage from the Monkey Chiro where he says, ain't a maven a Dibri Kochev and Balatani. How can he possibly go through the whole Zohar and taught it and brought it out? The Alter Rebbe shot that in Mishpah Chadoshim. So that's what he beat. That's not human. That's the Shvat the Alter Rebbe. You see when you're really in it. When you're really in it, you can achieve everything. And he was in it, he was in a cave, and he was sitting in earth after Christ took the room, and they all rags they had around him, and they're eating crumbs. What the Gemara says, the crumb is difficult for the digestion. Karu, that they're bad for the digestion. That's what they ate for 13 years. And they drank water from a spring with the air that came out. And they were happy, you come out, they were happy. They were so happy as his voice would come from them to Zohar HaKodesh. And I feel that that's a monkey. What he got is it took longer. He said it must have taken longer to make the whole Zohar HaKodesh. Minted Kudei Zohar Metalsti to say it. It must have taken longer. Well, the song goes on. Yeah. How long did it really take compared to the whole 13 years that they were there? Just imagine. That if you're really devoted to the emes, you don't notice, you don't know. It's a palace, it's a cave, a room. Oh, that's good. But Hashem, I don't believe it's a good place. Here we can learn a few thousand pages before including all the 100 pages of that's in a good case. We've got to move into that sphere. We've got to move into that eating. That's what he wants. Well, not that he wants fully that we shouldn't have. He wants we should have. Although that's not the ikka, the aim is a called tfisa smoking. The ikka is to see that the Gula Shlema should be a of mamish, a pshita, mamish, a practice in the world. That's what it's about. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Then we got these friends. I was sitting and we went to the Shir Congress. I was inside a house, and they said, well, there's some news for him, you know. So I picked up one of these for him, this beer from the Rebbe on the power shed, and I couldn't figure what we might say, but it was some Polish, you know, something. There was just not a word about Mashiach, not a word about anything, nothing, you know, nothing, you know, unusual or heavy going or, you know, surprising or anything. There's all sorts of little diukim from the Rebbe in the parish and the Teretz and the Kasha. It pushed it, it looked like a Balbatis to say. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to make the Rebbe, you know, a great Balbatis Rebbe, you know, said great things. There's all these nice pupulim from the Lubavitcher. Great, you know. Oi. Gewalt geschwiegen. It's exactly hyper Koramachur, hyper Beit Mafia. Because in all the secrets and took these something that the Rebbe Geshirim about Mashiach. But what they did was cut it all out. They took all out, left a few. I thought when I first, if he hadn't told me that was a sefer from the Rebbe, and he urged it, I'd take a look at it, I would have thought it was, you know, some sort of publication from somebody with a few nice people put it, you know, on the page. That's what I would have thought. Kachaiti Mao and that's what these guys are. I mean, I don't mean anything bad. Cheperish with Kaina. That's not my way. I don't want to chepper with them. But that's exactly what we're not supposed to be doing. And we have to know that that's not what we did. We did tell these beautiful Yonim in Torah just to leave us with a nice little pilpul and a nice kasha with a nice Torah. That wasn't what he was after. He was Megal, all these unbelievable things that we should know how to have the Turkey of a Chayal Pashut, to bring Mashiach the Fairman. Look, guys. There's no point in us just you know, carrying on. We've got to really get moving. The mountain is it's not you know, it's not bullshit. It's not bullshit at all. It's but I gotta get out there and fight war. It's very Mashiach, very Shekol, Kodesh. We have to talk to people. So it's a very important meeting now that when the guys were here, he said they should, when we go out and we tell you, they have to talk to people, even for Mashiach. You have to talk about the matzah and that's all, but always connected with you for Mashiach. You can't just talk about the matzah. You can't just say things, because then you maybe sort of drink up like somebody else that's got a more, you know, convincing point than the other Drake. You have to say it in the name of the Rebbe, not from Mashiach. You have to say it in the name of the Rebbe, Al-Manas, Holy, the Moshe Mashiach. That's the way you got to do it. And so, but Tua, it's a good teaching story. Political suffering. I live in Beneva, I try as much as I can. I live with my limited person. I meet these guys. I try to get across to each one in his own way, you know, the message. And it's a very amazing thing. You see, the rivers, the words, just, how do we say, Bereish Galei, but Gvura Mufosema, over all the Rabbeinu Navi. You should have read all of them. That's what the Rebbe said in the famous Sikh on top. In She shaved him. And I was all the Rabbein beginning of war. And look at that, you see the Friedrich Rebbe, and we just mentioned in the Mokacher, they were in Vienna, the Buddhist Islam. I'm not checking it kind of. I'm just talking about the Tzila Poya. And the Mokacher with the Friedrich Rebbe said that they're not going, they're not going to join the independent society. And they're, what's going on? I can't see straight, and all matters. He talking, he said that Mokacher was Korah, Kanoi, he really came out tremendously sharp. But he said that he wrote a special countries in which he said that now is the moment to bring Moshiach. And if you in any way mishativ yourself with the Zionistische, or the Zionistische Medina, you're going to hold up Moshiach. I said, I think it's up to him. And the Friedrich Rebbe agreed with him. The Friedrich Rebbe was Miyasha Dvorah, and then the Friedrich Rebbe was Moisi. And he said that anybody was Chepitza, and he in any way joins hands with the Zionim, he's eventually going to fall under their control. And that's exactly what's happening out there. Or the other, with the Jewish Israel, the other, yet they are under the control of Brahma because they're the Baal HaMeir, who Baal HaDeir. The one who holds the geld, he's the one who said, if remember you've gone after that, you're a Tachas Memshelto. So they think, oh no, we're not Tachas Memshelto, we do everything we want, we just take the money. If you take the money, then Mamoyne Shalom, yeah, that is Mamish Chayusay, Kipshuta.